Welcome to Meet the Vegans, and this week we review 1917.
A war film. "1917", written and directed by Sam Mendes, starring Dean Charles Chapman, George McKay, Daniel Mays, Colin Firth, Mark Strong and Benedict Cumberbatch.
During the First World War, two young British soldiers are given an impossible mission: deliver a message deep in enemy territory that will stop 1,600 men and one of the soldiers' brothers from walking straight into a deadly trap. So, 1917.
Aye. In the year of our Lord 2020.
Yes, this is the first war movie of this year, this decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the movie got played out that it was basically one-shot movie.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and
a bit cough there.
Don't get me wrong, there's some of the scenes, the opening scene was brilliant. It absolutely was shot fantastically, and as we both have agreed, it was too long. It hurt to watch this scene.
Yeah.
There was no break
Yeah, because when you've got them cuts, that's like a blink sort of
it's
thing.
a blink moment.
But it's like you're sat there like fucking Malcolm McDowell from fucking Clockwork Orange, like that pretty much. Like, is it going to cut?
The opening scene was brilliant. I can't knock it. And
it does build the tension of war and that, and it gets you involved in it, you know. It works. It does its job. But
the story moves on well. It moves on. I'd say the story moves on pretty quickly, but it's thin.
Almost as thin as my fucking hair.
Yeah, and it's
and that's thin.
It's just not great, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, give it all credit due. The scenes shot in one motion, brilliant. It was done very well. The sets were fantastic. I can't knock the sets. The display of No Man's Land, brilliant. The display of the dead bodies, brilliant. Dead horses. Everything was really good like that. The two main actors in it were good. They were good actors.
They worked well off each other.
Yeah, they were good. And it's just...
He got killed.
Yeah, one of them gets killed.
And then that's like when the film fell apart for me.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you've got these... It tells you the story of these two guys that are going to go find this like battalion to stop them from being murdered by the Germans. Yeah. And then he dies about 20 to 25 minutes in. The main guy.
I think it was a bit longer than that.
I don't know, you know. And it's just...
But yeah, he gets killed, and then, for me that was like...
And it just falls apart, you're right. It just doesn't have that sense anymore. I mean, there are scenes where it gives you that sense of urgency, and it gave me goosebumps. So, you know, I really could sense his sense of urgency.
Didn't do that with me.
But it does give you that sense of urgency. What he's trying to do is deliver this message to save, you know, his fellow countrymen.
Yeah.
But it was bland at points, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was very
like,
bland.
Come on, just get on with it now. And the lacking of German people, you know, German officers.
Even German soldiers, it was just nothing.
I don't know.
There was
five?
Probably not even that. Maybe, yeah.
The pilot, the guy shooting at him in the alleyway sort of thing.
And the two in the room.
And then the sniper.
Yeah, 5.
And then, like, I think the two in the room, 5. Yeah, there's like, say 5 to 10, like, German soldiers.
And I'll tell you
in the
what,
whole film. And to me, I thought that was a bit of a letdown.
It was. To say we were fighting in World War One, and we're supposedly pushing the German front line back. It was ghostly, in fact.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was to a point where, and I mean, they portrayed the Germans as a shit shot. I mean, they were shooting at the main guy. They were shooting at him. Not a single bullet fucking hit him.
Down a straight aisle sort of thing as well, and they missed.
I mean, there's a scene with a sniper about halfway. That's probably,
and he's a better shot than all of them.
Yeah, and I mean, this scene gave off a feeling of an action scene.
Yeah.
But it set up real tension because he was...
It shows the soldier brace himself.
He was breathing. He's like controlling his breathing so he'd be steady to shoot the German soldier. And I'd say that was probably one of the better scenes.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that...
When it sets them kind of tones, like...
It was good.
This is what they had to go through, sort of thing. It's not a case of, like, fucking Arnie turning up and just killing everyone. It's nothing like that. This is how it sort of...
really was.
As real as we can get it, sort of thing.
I mean, yes, we understand it was 100 years ago. Yes, we understand that, you know, the artillery, the weapons that we're using then wasn't what modern day weapons are. We get that, and it gives you that sense of urgency.
No drones, kids. There's no fucking drones. All right. They're still using fucking horses, for fuck's sake.
But was just flat so often.
Yeah. The bits in the bunker and things like that were brilliant.
Yeah, I mean...
when you go past all the soldiers and that, and you see them do all different things, like some are just like nursing wounds and that, some are smoking, some are reading letters from loved ones, some are just looking at pictures of loved ones
just
and
even
that.
having that little fight,
do you know what I mean? People digging, fixing stuff, and it was great.
And it just showed how immense these sets were in this movie. I mean, you can tell they put a real lot of effort into
and a lot of thought into it. Yeah,
and they made it look as real as physically possible.
Yeah.
The letdown was the story. It just was too thin. I mean, even at the end of the movie, it came up, didn't it, saying blah blah blah, such and such a soldier told stories from the 1st Battalion Rifle Corps. Now, if that says stories, I'd have liked to have seen 4 short stories in that movie, and I think that would have made it better.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't necessarily have to
4 different people in the same war.
I would have liked to
doing
have seen,
different things or whatever.
Like from just a normal soldier,
and you'd see them pass.
Yeah,
as well. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
And even higher ranking officers, a story of one of them. The element that gave you, I mean, the higher ranking officers. So you've got Colin Firth, Mark Strong, and Benedict Cumberbatch, who played the higher ranking officers. And I think, yes, they gave that element off, but they were in it no more than maximum each 3 minutes.
Colin Firth was the longest.
But yeah, at the very beginning when he's describing what mission they had to do. I mean, Mark Strong played a good part, and he
wasn't in it that long.
He wasn't in it that long. Neither was Benedict Cumberbatch was in the smallest amount.
Right, there you go. See you later.
And I just think these big names playing these high-ranking officers.
They're going to get people into the cinema to watch.
Yeah, and that was it.
Doctor Strange is in this,
and they played it well.
Yeah,
they had 5 or 6 lines each. That was it.
Yeah. They still had more lines than Mad Max.
Yeah.
In Mad Max 2.
I mean, all in all, elements of it were great.
I can see why history buffs would like it, but I think they're the people that are going to nitpick the fucking shit out of it.
I mean, this time we went to the cinema, it was packed.
It was packed.
It was more packed than Rise of the Skywalker. Yeah. We went at a popular time, and it was a lot of younger
And I think people. It was that the whole thing, that it's one cut. And it's not one cut, because it goes past rocks, and it's like, that's a cut. They've cut there, definitely. I mean, no way they've done it all in one.
But you can learn how to do that cut on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like...
It was always the same thing though, wasn't it? Like passing of a rock sort of thing.
Use
or passing round the house one as well.
Yeah, it was...
Where they find him and that, it's like, who are you sort of thing, what battalion? Then they walk through the house and it's like, and then it gets to there, and it's like, you could tell that was a cut.
And it's meant to give... Like you said, it meant to give you that thought of shell-shocked.
Yeah.
But it felt messy. Compared to the way these long shots were done, and they were brilliantly done, you'd get this little transition shot.
Yeah.
And it felt messy.
It felt like a TV movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't feel right, and it was kind of frustrating because that's what appealed to me was these long.
Maybe the cuts would have been better if it was like the explosion and that was a cut.
Yeah,
that might have worked a bit better.
The explosions, there were points where there's like fucking pure gravel and shit hitting him.
The guy next to me actually jumped out of his seat at one point. It was fucking hilarious. I've never seen anyone jump out of the seat on a history film.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the audience were there because they feel like it was part of our history and they needed to go and see it. I
just think they went because they thought it was going to be one cut. Like one whole thing.
It's not.
And it looks like it, yeah, it does look like it, but I know there's cuts
in there. There was loads of cuts in it. There was loads. I mean, the scenes were long. I mean, there were scenes that were 10 minutes, one continuous shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, all credit to him. Fantastic. Not many people could pull that off.
Yeah. It does work. It builds the tension.
Yeah, and the tension was there. The suspense was there. It's just the story lacks so much. Yeah. The ending fell... Yes, he's achieved what he's meant to do at the end, but we didn't get anything from the end. No. He's achieved it, and we don't see what happens to the character. You have to make that decision, but it's not like you would get in... a strong film.
I did think that fucking Benedict Cumberbatch was going to kill him or something like that and just carry on with it anyway. I did think that might...
He did give that sense off because he had that big scar down his face, didn't he? And he was just like
John Connor.
But it was also like what Mark Strong said to him, make sure you get witnesses.
So he doesn't go fucking crazy and just do it anyway.
He's hungry for that power.
I did actually think, it's when he walked up to me, like, and now it's time for you to... And I was like, he's going to fucking kill him and just do it anyway. I did feel like that, but obviously it didn't happen.
It
just seemed to be like, Yeah.
I think we had such a big build-up for this movie about what it was, and it's something that I will not watch again. I won't watch it again.
I probably would watch it again.
No.
Just to pick at it a little bit more. But that's just me. I'm a twat.
It's not. It's not for me. Like they're probably, and saying this, like I don't get war films. I'm not a fan of them, and it all comes from.
Like I said, I like the satirised ones. You know, Kelly's Heroes, Full Metal Jacket, even Apocalypse Now. Sort of thing, where they sort of look at war in this stupid fucking way. Let's face it, folks.
But they were
war is
but they were the
stupid.
good movies.
This was taking it like, look how much good they're doing, sort of thing. There was to me, there should have been like a German story
and an English story.
An English side, because there's always two sides to a war, and without that German sort of like presence in the film, it just felt like it's biased and one-sided story.
Right, you're not wrong there, because there was a scene where he turns up in this. He's in this French town that's been
occupied by Germany.
Yeah, and it's completely bombed to shit. And he's come away from meeting this young girl, and he's going through the town. And he walks around the corner, there's a German soldier there.
Yeah.
He fucking pins him to a pillar, puts his hand over his mouth. German soldier
and
does
goes,
nothing.
Shh.
Yeah. The German soldier would have kicked shit out of him.
But then he let go.
Yeah.
Let go, and then he screamed, and he's like, why have you done that? I get it, you're supposed to be young and like, you know, afraid, you've never been in war and that, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You've got all that new technology and that, you don't know what's, you know.
Yeah, and it was just...
Things like that. And he's just like, I got the one where they helped the guy out of the plane.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's like, we're going to save him, sort of thing, because he's going to burn alive.
Yeah, but then
there's the other side of that, isn't there? He's like, well, he's a fucking German in World War One, so just let him burn.
And then he fucking stabs the main character.
Stabs one of the main characters and kills him, and that's
the be all of all of it.
In fact, if I did watch it again, I'd probably just watch it to that part and just go, yeah, that's it, now done. Do you know what I mean? Because they should have kept them two characters all the way through.
Yeah, because they were
like getting injured. The main character got injured more than the fucking character that died.
Got shot at.
He got shot at. He got fucking blown up and covered in fucking rubble.
Crushed.
He got fucking nearly hit by a fucking plane, or he did get hit by a fucking plane.
And then he got shot in the head with his helmet on. Which knocked him out. And he busted his head open.
And it's like
they nearly drowned.
His mate just gets stabbed in the fucking gut
and bleeds out.
I'm sorry, but Sean Pertwee wouldn't have had that, would he? You know
I mean? I'm binned, mate, I'm binned. Knock me out, you fucking pussy. Fuck off. But, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just a bit weak, that. He's like, oh, I've been stabbed, am I going to die?
I felt the whole movie and all was weak. The thing that kept it strong was its few suspenseful moments and these shots. And that's all I was looking forward to. That I was more eager in seeing the long shots than I was... the story in the end.
Yeah,
and it was just
just wanted to see like the men struggling.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
The fucking thing in the bunkers and that, and the trenches and things like that. You know, but oh dear, somebody's tired.
But then it was like we said, like there was some good explosions, and then the final real big
kind of when he jumped, he fell into the fucking off the waterfall. It was like CG sort of thing. He looked really.
He was very, very wired.
Yeah,
but the first.
There's another cut.
And then it was, but it was the scene that you see in the trailer where they're running along the lime trench and the explosions
going off behind them. The explosions
are
running.
real, and then the explosions that are then going off in the background are CG, and you can tell.
Oh, they look it. Anyway.
They look it, and if they are,
do you know what I think would have made this film slightly better if they'd actually filmed it on film?
Give it that grain, that edgy feel. Yeah. You're probably right there, and it would have felt probably
some of it
more
looked
real.
too sharp. Do you know what I mean? For that kind of film, I'm not saying that if you're going to shoot like a film about the past, don't shoot it in film. But it would have. I don't know. It felt like it needed that. So just a bit of like grit
to bring that edge to it. I mean, the macabre in it. I mean, like women said, like it doesn't flash the dead bodies in front of you. It's kind of off to one side.
Yeah.
And like at the end, when we've seen like what's happening to the English soldiers, and there's limbs missing, there's chunks missing. They are just not well lit enough for you to get the idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
But he is too ruminated with looking for this kid's brother.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you'd be shocked at what you were seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes,
it's like that bit in the tent, it should have like panned across everyone.
Yeah, and just been like,
it did, but it was just like sort of headshots going down.
You're right.
You just see like feet and heads and do you know what I mean? It should have panned across the tops of them.
To say where he's just come from, like he's just come out of nearly drowning, right?
Yeah.
And he's sat slumped with all these other soldiers, which is the battalion he's looking for, and he's out of it, he's dazed, he's just been through a fucking mad
battlefield fatigue for
he should have kept that momentum going when we see all these, like, the limbs missing, the soldiers hurt, people literally dying on a fucking table.
Yeah.
It should have continued with that.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And that, yeah, it kind of just fell apart.
The other bit that annoyed me was her with the baby.
There was no need for it. There was no need for that.
But she was hiding down there, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
a baby that's fucking hungry and needs milk is going to fucking cry like hell. And these Nazis, not Nazis, German people, are just on the outside. And they can't hear this baby crying.
But it's like...
Is this baby crying? I can hear the baby. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's underneath you, mate.
That was the other thing that I didn't like about it, the fact that she's speaking French to him and he's speaking English, but they understand each other. I understand that the soldiers
I think they would have learnt, they would have learnt some French and that because...
They were taught some French, but they weren't able to fucking understand that.
I think that was just a case of like, they did learn French.
They did, they were. And
I think that was just showcasing that, basically.
They were taught German as well. But you had it was just odd.
They asked for whiskey like that.
But it was just odd. It had odd feelings to certain bits, and it was just...
Like I said, I think the German element was a little bit not there.
Yeah,
you said, it was like, it felt like a biased film.
Yeah, and it was...
English.
And it was
it's just gonna fuel that fucking shite again, innit? Fucking 2 world wars, 1 world fucking cup. Nobody fucking cares. Do you know what I mean? It's been 1966 since you last won the fucking World Cup. It's been 1940 43 or whatever it was since you last won a World War. Do you know what I mean?
It's just I can't.
That's it. It felt like that's all it was fueling. That's sort of like English were the best, and it's a lot of bullshit basically.
It was basically showing off the skills that they'd got to make the movie, how to make the movie.
I did like the fact that when they got to the German trenches and that, they were considerably better than the fucking English, and that's the way it was.
That's historically true. And that was very nice to see, but
and they knew it.
Yeah.
When they saw it, like, look at all this fucking shit.
When you saw the artillery and the shells.
And this is after you've seen the English fucking trenches, which are fucking dire. They're fucking mud and fucking all sorts of...
We were literally sleeping at the trench. We had a dugout hole, weren't it?
Yeah.
That you'd literally pull a piece of material over and sleep
Try and get some sleep in there.
And the fucking Germans had beds.
Yeah.
And it showed, even though...
They had a whole fucking hostel underneath the fucking...
Although fucking the Germans did not win the war... They had it right. They were, and it was just, and that was good. There were some real good elements in there that showed truths about World War One.
Yeah, but the lack of German soldiers, the story
just felt flat.
The only
thing that saved it were those long shots, and I was really impressed at how that was made. Other than that, it fell flat on its arse for me, and I'd probably score it a fucking 2.5. And I'm
Bastard, you know what? I was thinking that on the way down here. I was like, I'm going to score it 2.5, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's shit, I'll score it 2.5.
I'd give it a 2.5 purely for the fact
I'm going to give it 1.5 now.
Those elements of the shots and some of the realism.
Don't get me wrong, it was beautifully shot. It was beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Some things could have been lightened up a little bit.
Yeah, to emphasise.
I get it. Like, it's dark. It's like this is how it's supposed to be anyway.
But I think we had too much of a promise on how it was going to be filmed, and it failed on that for me.
Yeah.
And the story...
I don't even think those kids that were in there really...
They didn't know.
There was 3 of them in there looking at Pornhub. As we're walking down, there's like 3 kids sat there like that on Pornhub. It's like, you come here to look at porn. What the fuck?
Like I said, I feel that they went there because... I don't think they went because it was a one-shot cinema, because...
You don't think, well, who would have dragged him... what would have dragged him to it?
Right, so
Benedict fucking Cumberbatch.
Right, other than us, right, as being movie buffs, I don't believe the majority of those people in that cinema were movie buffs, right?
What do you think? They're all doing a test on 1917?
No, right. I believe that if we'd have been that age...
It's like them girls. What are them girls doing there? That's not a movie for girls, is it? You know what I mean? I'm not saying that girls can't see fucking history and war movies, right? But these girls were like, I don't know,
I just think they felt like they needed to go.
They needed to go, I need to see this because
it's part of our heritage.
It's one shot.
It's part of
That's
our history.
what I think it was.
See, I don't
It was the one cut.
I just don't think they understand that.
They had the hype of it, didn't they? This is the film, there's one cut. It's all a single take. No, it's fucking not. You're giving it 2.5?
I'm giving it 2.5. And that's purely for the shots.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As well?
Yeah, that's including what I saw and how I felt it. And I'm pushing it, giving it a 2.5.
I'm going to have to give it 1.5 then.
Right, fair enough.
1.5, no Germans.
Oh, well. So, if you agree or disagree, hit us up in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe and smash that like button.
Smash it hard.
I've been Anthony.
And I've been Neil.
And remember,
hail the vegans. And don't bother with this film.
Yeah.
Shite.